Picture a vast expanse of rolling Pennsylvania countryside, dotted with farms, woodlands, and ridges. It's a serene panorama that belies the imminent chaos. On the outskirts of the sleepy town of Gettysburg, two formidable forces are gathering. The Union and Confederate forces, each brimming with resolve and determination. Their presence transforms the peaceful landscape into a tableau of anticipation and tension. Soldiers, mere silhouettes against the fading twilight, ready their weapons. The soft clinking of sabers, the heavy thud of cannons being moved into position, the muted murmurs of men praying, laughing, or simply steeling themselves for what's to come, all these sounds punctuate the stillness. The air is thick with the anticipation of conflict, a tangible reminder of the high stakes at play. As the dawn of July 1, 1863 broke, one of the most significant battles in American history was about to begin. The early morning silence was shattered by the roar of artillery as the Battle of Gettysburg commenced. As dawn broke on the first day, the Confederate Army, under the command of General Robert E. Lee, seemed to have the upper hand. They pushed the Union forces back through the town of Gettysburg, seizing control of key areas and gaining valuable ground. But as the day wore on, the tide began to turn. The Union Army, led by Major General George G. Meade, dug in their heels, setting up defensive positions on Cemetery Hill. The second day of the battle saw some of the fiercest fighting in places that would become etched in the annals of history. Places like Little Round Top and Devil's Den became arenas of courage and sacrifice. At Little Round Top, Union forces held their ground against a relentless Confederate assault. The hill was a strategic point, and its defense was pivotal in preventing the Confederates from outflanking the Union line. Meanwhile, at Devil's Den, a rocky, rugged terrain became the stage for a brutal close-quarters battle. Soldiers fought tooth and nail, with every inch of ground gained or lost carrying immense significance. The Union forces, though outnumbered, displayed remarkable tenacity, holding the Confederates at bay. The third and final day of the battle was marked by the infamous Pickett's Charge. Named after Confederate General George Pickett, this was a desperate attempt by the Confederates to break the Union center. Over 12,000 men marched across an open field towards Cemetery Ridge under heavy artillery and rifle fire. But despite their bravery, the charge failed, resulting in devastating losses for the Confederates. Throughout these 3 grueling days, strategies were put to the ultimate test. Bravery was displayed in the face of overwhelming odds, and sacrifices were made by soldiers on both sides. The Battle of Gettysburg was not just a clash of armies, but a clash of beliefs, a struggle for the very soul of a nation. After 3 grueling days of intense and bloody warfare, the battle ended with a Union victory, marking a turning point in the Civil War. The Battle of Gettysburg was more than just another battle in the American Civil War, it was the turning point. Let's delve into the gravity of this monumental event. The significance of the Battle of Gettysburg can't be overstated. It was a 3-day clash that not only altered the course of the war, but also the trajectory of the nation. In the larger context of the Civil War, Gettysburg was the brick wall that halted the Confederate advance into the North. The Confederate Army, led by General Robert E. Lee, was on a hot streak, riding high on a series of victories. Their aim was to take the war into Union territory, to demoralize the North and force a quick end to the conflict. But the Union Army, under the command of General George G. Meade, stood their ground at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. This was the first significant defeat for the Confederates on Northern soil, effectively blunting their momentum and turning the tide of the war. Moreover, it was a much-needed morale boost for the Union side. After a string of defeats, the Union Army was in dire need of a victory. Gettysburg provided just that, reinvigorating the Union troops and galvanizing the Northern public's resolve to see the war through to its end. The Battle of Gettysburg also set the stage for the eventual Union victory. It was a pivotal moment that began to tip the scales in favor of the North, marking the beginning of the end for the Confederacy. But the battle's significance extended beyond the military sphere. President Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, delivered a few months later, transformed the sight of bloodshed into a symbol of freedom and equality. This eloquent speech redefined the Civil War's purpose, shifting the focus from merely preserving the Union to the higher ideal of human equality. The Battle of Gettysburg, a crucial turning point, forever etched its mark on the course of American history and the collective memory of a nation.